Good morning, evening, or afternoon, whenever you are seeing this. It is currently 4:41 in the morning, so I'm going to be a little quiet, as per usual. Today, I'm going to be discussing with you the power of words. Very simple, but very involving, if that makes sense. So, I made a list of different aspects of using your words. Um, so, we've got singing, communication, emotional articulation, truth, and power. And I wrote um, little notes next to them to help me start off. So, singing, to sing is to express. Communication, to communicate is to articulate. Emotional, to speak is to feel. Truth, to speak truth is empowering. And power, speech is power. So, that should be a good footnote to start us off on. Very quickly, I am not very good at articulating myself. So, I keep my music on. It helps me articulate my thoughts, and it helps me figure out what it is I'm trying to get across, um, as well as any other means of getting through certain things, things that I deal with and things like that. So if music helps you think, then we're alike in that way. But yeah, I've come across a lot of people who have expressed themselves in ways that are not very positive, and I can attest that I used to be one of those people, where if it's speaking negatively about myself, feeling negatively towards others that would cause me to speak negatively, either about them in said situation, but not them as a person. But I feel like those two things are interconnected. Um, if you if you have any idea of what it's like to be badmouthed by people that you hold close to you, if you have a feeling that people are using their words to define you, to attack you, and sort of that kind of thing. Um, I don't want to focus too much on that, but just to get that part out of it, um, setting up boundaries is huge, huge thing. Everybody should do that, especially if you're looking at your own journey and your own walk of life and things that you're trying to figure out, whether it's your career, love life. I'm not going to, but anyways, um, mainly I want to use the power of words in a positive aspect, at least hopefully positive, um, in ways to help people. There are so many people in the world that are dealing with things that are similar that nobody wants to talk about. And I don't have the most world experience, I'll be honest with you, but I feel like an outside perspective on situations can sometimes be a good thing. In that department, I have definitely experience in that. Um, Maybe I'll cover that in another video, but the power of our speech is mostly these days to spread, whether it's fear, judgment, um, some form of putting people down. And that's the kind of thing that I want to fully just delete out of my brain. I feel like this will help with that because I will probably refer to this video a few times in the future. But let's start with this. Um, when you communicate, whether it's to yourself or to somebody else that you're having a conversation with, the number one thing that I always try to do is give people that general respect. Yeah, everybody has seen this Markiplier video. If you haven't seen it ever, you should probably go look at it. But he does a very good job at getting that sort of message across as everybody deserves respect. There's this huge like thing about respect is earned, not given, right? But what people don't understand is that's a double edge, because when you meet somebody for the first time, your first thought or your first action, I should say, towards them is not to treat them negatively with your words or a gesture of some kind. Like that's that's a level of judgment that I hope I do not ever reach. But it's showing disrespect up front, and it doesn't make sense to me. Um, when you come across somebody new, and like let's say you start a new job and you meet somebody, you shake their hand, you greet them, you say good morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. It's a general respect, recognizing them as another person, which everybody in the world is a person. So, anyways, my point into this is, um, words are very powerful in either direction. So use your words to empower people. Use them to lift people up, to give support to people. I myself have to work on this a little bit, because sometimes I catch myself saying something that, whether it's jokingly or not, saying some things that I come to regret later. And everybody has, that's another thing, everybody has that. Something either you regret saying, something you regret doing, a way you handled a situation, a way you dealt with a person. Everybody has an experience of some kind in that department. Just trying to lead your words with who you are is a big part of what I'm trying to do. And who I want to become is a person who doesn't treat people the same way other people see each other. That makes sense. Um, the first thing I want to do is to have the ability to help. And if this is a way of doing that, I'm going to keep doing it. And asking questions is a big thing too. Like, don't be afraid to question people, their intention, their integrity. I mean, anything like that, like in a respectful way. Like, don't. Yeah. I don't know. This is just something that I've been thinking about for a little while, and I'm trying to express my words in a lot more of a peaceful and empowering way. Lifting people up and just overall being nicer to people. You don't have to be you don't have to be nice to be good. You don't have to be good to be nice. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe to some people it does. But being respectful is a must. 100%. Now, do I believe that there are times and places where you need to use certain words to get across a message that maybe somebody's just not getting it, But oftentimes it's because that person has did you wrong in some sort of way or disrespected you in some sort of way. And having dealt with people that just want to use your kindness as a means for their advantage and their weakness, I think I can speak to the idea of just seeing the good in everybody. And there are some people that just need that. Sometimes you need to do more than speak. So that's all I'll say about that. But yeah, the power of words is something that is given to everybody, but very few people use it, in my experience. Very few people use it to uplift. Instead, it's a very surface level interaction, and I do not want that. I can't lie to you. I do not like small talk. I despise it. It sits in my gut and it's terrible. It's awkward. It bothers me to my core. I mean, yes, I want to know that you're doing well, and I want to know that you're doing, something positive for yourself. Of course I do. But I want to know more about you not your situation, if that makes sense. And if that's anything, that's the kind of person I am. I want to know what's going on in here. Like, what are you thinking about? Like, that's my way of truly getting to know somebody. And a lot of people that I do know, and I'm not saying it's by choice or whatever, maybe it's just not part of an interaction that they want to have with me. But a lot of people I know don't like having those conversations. Not I'm not saying current people included, but some of y'all need to do some of that inner work. But yeah, I want to empower people through my words, I guess is the overall thing here. And find out what ways you're using your words and what ways you're uplifting the people that are around you. What ways are you potentially hurting the people around you and or yourself with said words? Big self-talk is huge. Change the way you speak to yourself and to others if you have an issue with that. Figure out a way to articulate yourself without having to put somebody else's point of view down to get your point across, if that makes sense. I usually like to let people talk before I say anything because I like to know how our interaction might go, or maybe something that we might have in common. That's also part of my I call it a safeguard system because I don't very much trust people very easily, and that's something I'm kind of still working on within myself. But I'd like to know your thoughts, the way that you operate and why you operate the way you do. And it's not for any means of like, oh, this situation calls for me to say certain things just to make you feel better. I'm not going to do that. But it's genuinely interesting to me, and I believe it can be used positively. So if you're watching this and you have some of this that related to you in any way, let me know. Like, I want to learn. I want to hear. I want to experience other people's perspectives on this and potentially the way that they think about it. Because that's the whole point of me doing this is I want an interaction that is positive overall instead of just an interaction that just happens and then we go about our day. I don't like the surface. I really don't. Like, you gotta get in there. You gotta go all the way in there, man. Pause. But yeah. So yeah, let me know. I'll probably make another video soon. I don't know what it's gonna be about yet. I haven't been called to make anything aside from this. I literally woke up at 2:30 this morning and I was just thinking and I started going and I was like, I need to get this out. I need to express this in some way, shape, or form. But yeah. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, wherever you are. See you later.